Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you are listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. I am here at the beautiful Chula Vista Elementary School District Sound Station with the gentleman who has really brought this to you. I know he's going, Drew, me, and about 4,000 other folks at Chula Vista Elementary School District. That's Michael Bruder. He is the Director of Innovation for this really game-changing school district. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, Drew?
Phenomenal. So we're trying to figure out, was it a year ago we were here when this room certainly did not look like it looks like now?
I think it was about a year ago. It's definitely made a transformation.
Yeah, it's absolutely. And as a Director of Innovation, what's your major role? I
have the honor of serving our district and supporting innovative, hands-on learning career exploration programs here in Chula Vista, which includes all of our station experiences for our 4th through 6th grade students.
Right. So how many stations are there?
We currently have 6 sites.
And each one has a different, this one is sound and podcast and music and so forth, correct?
Yes.
And the other ones are what?
We have we have our coastal education program, which is at the Living Coast Discovery Center, and that is a program that's been around for almost 30 years and serves our transitional kindergarten through 8th grade students.
That's a beautiful site, too.
It is. We also have our health station that's serving our 4th grade students and located at the Chula Vista Elite Athlete Training Center.
Right. We
have our hydro station that's serving our 5th graders, and it's located at a desalination facility.
Right. And then you had something at one of the libraries, right?
Yes, so we have 2 in the libraries. Okay. We have our innovation station, which is a partnership with Qualcomm in the city, and that's located at the Civic Center Library, and our energy station, which is located at the South Library, and that's a partnership with SDG&E, IBEW, and NECA.
Right. So every one of these stations, the kids are learning about career exploration. Here's what the careers are. And this is why there's such a strong relationship between the Chula Vista Elementary School District and Classroom of the Future Foundation, correct?
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I know with that relationship, it's focused on college and career or wherever you want to go and so forth. On each of those stations, do you have the students sort of fill out like an interest inventory? Do they do something here? This is what I like doing. And then do you keep it? So when they go from transitional kindergarten to 1st grade, by the time they're in 5th grade, boy, your interests certainly change, like most people's interests change.
Yeah, so it's really driven by our mission, which is helping students find their strengths and interests, connecting it with possible careers. So in 4th grade, our students take a strengths assessment. And our teachers, when they visit our station, our health station in particular, unpacks that with them. The program or the platform that they take that assessment in, they can go in later and they can update their interests as they may change year to year or even,
within the semester.
Yeah, definitely. So they do have the opportunity to do that once they learn about their strengths and interests and how the platform works. And they also can identify career aspirations they have and dive deeper past the careers that they learned about here and see videos like a day in the life of and things like that. No,
I think that's great. And you folks in this district certainly have been on top of your game with the wonderful superintendents you've worked for, Frankie Escobedo, of course, now Eduardo Reyes, and always been focused on with the kid at the center. Now that sounds so obvious, but doesn't happen all the time, does it?
You know, it may not happen everywhere, but I can say here in Chula Vista, it's always been at the center of what we do and been supported, like you said, by our superintendents, our board, and all of our leadership.
Yeah, we started working really closely with somebody who's been on our Classroom of the Future Foundation Advisory Board. You know him, Devin Vidishka. And Devin was on the top superintendents in the county up at Vista and then worked for the All School. Now runs a organization called Learner Center, Collaborative. He's in 150 school districts now, and he was at our Soup Tank event where Superintendent Ray certainly did a really nice job talking about what the needs are. I think he talked about the sound station and so forth and all the different stations on that. But talk about how important it is to really focus on that student at the center of the learning, and especially as it ties into innovation.
Well, exploring careers is another thing that's at the center of our work, and it's because research shows us that students start foreclosing on careers as early as 4 years old, which tells us this needs to happen early and often. So that's also driven our work a lot, is making sure kids have opportunities to see themselves in careers. Oftentimes we know about the careers around us, whether it may be family, friends, things like that. But what our goal is with each of those stations, they align with a priority sector here in San Diego, or in Sound Station's case, the creative economy.
Right.
And to give kids that opportunity that when they walk through here, they can align the strengths and interests with a career in that sector and kind of fill that bucket of opportunities in all these different sectors so that when they get on to middle and high school and past high school, they can make informed choices based on what they know they love to do and their strengths.
Yeah, we're chatting with Michael Bruder. He's the Director of Innovation for the Chula Vista Elementary School District. I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, listening to a special edition of the Spotlight on the Community Show. We are here at the Sound Station, the Chula Vista Elementary School District. We're brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. And Mission Fed for more than 60 years has been doing wonderful things in the community. Our Spotlight on the Community Show is the nation's longest running community podcast and so forth. Are the kids geeked up about doing podcasts in the Sound Station?
They love everything Sound Station. Matter of fact, our project that students do at the culminating project that they do after lunch is one of the highlights of the experience. As part of that, they prepare for going on tour. So there's someone who is a music producer who's using Soundtrap, a digital audio workstation, to record, mix, and edit music. There's musicians, as you can see, Drew, there's guitars, keyboards, all kinds of stuff around this place. There's also a graphic designer who's creating an album cover. There's an architect who's designing a venue in our makerspace that they would perform in. So they get to take on all these different roles. And this room that we're sitting in right here is where they can come and record and use real tools. And, this podcasting station that we're using right now is something that kids will use and come here after school and be able to do their own podcast.
Yeah, and I think what's nice about this, and when you're giving kids their voice, okay, so to speak, are they going to come up with the topics for what they're going to do, and the people they're going to interview in podcasting?
We definitely want student choice and voice. So I think that the more the students can drive it, the better.
Right, exactly. Will they only talk about things going on in the district, or will they be talking about things that are going on in the community? Because there's a nice skate park about, 15 feet from the Sound Station?
I probably could stretch out my arm and touch the fence to the skate park.
Right.
I think it'll be whatever they're passionate about, whether that's in our school, in our community, whatever is something that gets them interested and something that they want to share with the world is what they'll explore.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. Do you see having other podcast stations, so to speak, within the other stations, whether it's in the library or whether it's at the Living Coast Discovery Center? Just to let you know, that's one of my favorite places. They have brought in the infamous owl into the studio, actually, as we've interviewed those people over the years in that aspect of it. Do you see doing even more podcast stations throughout the district?
Well, as you know, this setup is mobile. We could always take this around.
Right.
But I also think that as popularity increases, we definitely could set it up. We are a very large school district serving many schools. So as the interest in it grows, I think we'll have to.
Right. So at the Sound Station, are there students here every day, or is it every day, including the summer? How does that work?
There are students here every day. We have a different sixth grade class that comes to visit every single day. And on top of that, across all of our station experiences, we typically have summer camp programs.
Right.
So the sound station will be likely hosting a summer camp this year, where our kids will get to dive deeper into what they do within the one-day experience.
Right. So the sixth graders that are going to be here today, are they going to be here during the podcast?
They might be.
Should we yank?
Actually, they will be for sure. Whether we hear them or not, I can't guarantee.
I think we should yank one of them in with some of the other folks who are going to be honored to host here. Certainly Superintendent Reyes. Maybe we'll have one jump in and chat next to him. What do you think?
I think they'd love it.
Very good. We're going to make that happen over here on the fly. We'll have my business partner, Charles Parisi, wrangle them when they get. What time do they get to the sound station?
They should probably be here within the next 15 minutes or so.
All right. Very good. Over here, we can ask my producer, Aaron Tanner, who's very good at getting people to come onto the show, whether they like it or not, to chat about different types of things with this. So, Michael, you've been with the district how long, you said?
Almost 20 years.
20 years. And you didn't come off as a director of innovation. Where did you start? As a classroom teacher?
I did. I taught 4th, 5th, and 6th grade at Hilltop Drive Elementary School.
Oh, okay. Very good. And then when did you come to the central office, so to speak?
So about 8 years ago, I had the opportunity to be our first teacher at the Innovation Station. And I was there for about 2 years. And as the program started to grow, I became a resource teacher in innovation, which is when I moved to the central office and progressed into different positions from there.
Right. So this whole innovation, what you've done, all the stations you mentioned and so forth, is continuing to grow. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Right. And you had mentioned, it was interesting because you focus on those sectors that are growing certainly in our region, but definitely here in South County. As they change, will the stations change as well?
For sure.
Talk about that.
Well, I think it can sound cliche, but you can't call yourself an innovation department if it stays the same year after year.
Right.
So as our partners are really instrumental in that, as well as our teachers. So our teachers collaborate with our partners and are able to stay up to date on what that industry looks like. You know, for example, maybe here at the sound station, there's a new production tool that catches fire next year. Our sound station teacher will connect with that, learn more about that, and we'll implement that with our students. So the programs are always evolving year after year, and even during the year based on what the new technology or what the new tools may be in that field.
Right. We're chatting with Michael Bruder. He is the Director of Innovation for the Chula Vista Elementary School District. I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. It's a special edition of the Spotlight on the Community Show here from Chula Vista Elementary School District's sound station in this wonderful setup. We're going to be chatting with some of the other colleagues of Michael throughout the day here in the special edition and chatting about all the great things that are happening in the school district. We're brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Mission Fed been doing great things in San Diego for more than 60 years. I imagine, Michael, that the parents are all geeked up on all of your stations, but especially this one, because they're going to see their kids are going to have a voice.
Yeah, there's definitely been some special excitement around the sound station as the build up to opening it. And then, as you mentioned, since we've opened it, we've been able to share it with the community, whether it was through our grand opening or videos and things like that. So I think people, whether it's our students, our parents, our community members, are really excited about the fact that their students are getting a chance to try on these different careers while they're here. Yeah, no, certainly when I see this aspect of it, and Charles Parisi, my business partner, the CEO and founder of Cloudcast, have talked about it, half the battle may be a tough word to say, but is sharing the great innovations in other districts. There's 43 school districts in the county, of course. Do other districts come down and say, listen, what are you doing? I'm hearing all this buzz on all your stations. Do they come and visit? Yes, we've had quite a few districts visit, and sometimes it's all of our stations, sometimes it's certain ones based on, what people's interests may be. So we are happy to share the work, and we want to learn from other districts too. If there's a component that we can add, or there's something that may be missing from our program that we can learn from someone else, we love those opportunities.
Right. How much of the businesses get involved in this? Your local banks, so to speak, or certainly you've got many businesses in Chula Vista. Do they get to be part of those stations? Do they come in on a frequent basis?
So all of our stations are linked to direct partners that we have for them, and they're very active. Whether it's from forming the curriculum, whether it's participating and coming in and talking to our students or supporting our summer camp experiences, our direct partners are really active. With each station, over time, they've all been around for a different amount of time. We've had more and more partnerships and more community members come in. Service clubs here in Chula Vista participate quite a bit. And we've had a few businesses that have jumped in and done that. And one of the things I would love to support our team in having more is having people in career fields come in and talk to our kids. Sometimes we know that has to be digitally for schedules, but anytime we can get a person from industry who does that job and help our kids see themselves in that field, we'd love to grow that even more.
How close do you work with the Chula Vista Chamber?
We've worked with them quite a bit over the years. One of my favorite things is that Chula Vista Chamber of Commerce has created a Monopoly game called Chula Vista Opoly. And
I've seen it.
And the sustainability edition has all of our stations on the board.
Oh my God, that's fantastic! And the reason why I'm saying, if I'm not, Chula Vista Chamber, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the larger chambers in San Diego County. Obviously, the regional chamber, the Jerry Sanders, the former mayor of San Diego, now CEO of that, runs. Carlsbad has a huge chamber, and they have 1,100 members. But if I'm not mistaken, I had the Chula Vista Chamber CEO on not too long ago. I think you guys had like 600, 800 members, some huge amount. But what I would think that would be an absolute natural for them to come in and be interviewed by one of the students, a different business, and they're talking about what they're doing, and maybe get them to volunteer and so forth as much on that. And again, will the students be the ones choosing those topics when they start using the sound station for podcasting?
Yeah, we would love to bring people in and have them share about careers, but also be open to our students asking questions about what they may want to know about those careers. And once the podcasting picks up, like I said, I think our kids will drive the questioning and what they want to learn about them.
Yeah, I think one of the things you brought up, I think it is so important and gets back to the learner center, the learner being at the center of education, heaven forbid, right? Ask the kids what they're interested in, is the fact that, their strengths and their interests are going to change throughout the years. And when you interview somebody who now is a successful CEO of fill in the blank or runs a company, to tell, oh yeah, I never thought I'd get into this field. I started over as X. I'll ask you, did you, when you were growing up, want to be a teacher? Or did you want to be the third baseman for the San Diego Padres or the LA Dodgers or wherever the case may be?
Well, first of all, it was definitely the Padres, not the Dodgers.
Okay, sorry. I'm a Dodger fan. Just had to get that in there, of course.
I knew you would.
Exactly. Got to throw in some UCLA while I'm at it and so forth. No, but in all seriousness, do you have education in your background? Your parents educators?
So yes and no. I did want to play for the Padres. I also wanted to play for the Lakers. Unfortunately, neither of those worked out.
It's never too late. Okay.
It might be too late in this case. But I also loved music, and I wanted to be a DJ.
And did you become one?
I did not. I had an opportunity to kind of intern, and didn't take the opportunity for various reasons at the time. But it's definitely behind an extra little piece for the passion for the sound station. But as far as the teaching background, my mom was an instructional assistant and after-school program coordinator for many years. So I had a chance to volunteer.
In this district?
Not in this, in multiple districts.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
I was in this district for a little bit of time with after-school programs. But I got a chance to be around schools a lot. My first role in schools was as an instructional assistant.
Oh, okay.
So I definitely had education in the family that led me to where I'm at today.
Right, but so you'd be a great example of that as you're interviewing the fourth graders. You said take the strength survey, right?
Yes.
When they do it, everyone in the district, and they want to be X, Y, and Z, whatever X, Y, and Z is, and you could say, listen, I wanted to be, third baseman for the Padres or a shooting guard for the Lakers, and okay, well, I wasn't going to do that, so I wanted to be a DJ. If I couldn't play music, I wanted to be the top DJ in the world, and now you're here's where you are. And I think what's so important about that is letting kids know is, listen, I wanted to be a shortstop for the Dodgers, by the way, and thank you very much. But listen, I was never going to think I'm going to be speaking in front of groups. I was very shy. I still am shy for that matter. And you're going, you've done 5,000 interviews. What do you mean you're shy? What's wrong with you? But who knows where everything goes and what the opportunities are. There was no such thing as podcasts when I was growing up in that aspect of it. How much of the kids, and especially grew up with things that probably you and I didn't grow up with, right? With cell phones and innovation on this. How much is their expectations different from when you and I were growing up, that they are expecting innovation?
Well, I think the innovation's in their hand with the devices that they have. Yeah. I think it's, the ability to communicate with the world through various platforms is something that is so easy for them. So one of the things that they ask about are careers aligned with those, things that have to do with streaming and things like that. So one of the things that I think we'll continue to work on, I don't think we're there yet, is helping our students see the crossover that happens. I may learn at one station this tool, but I'll use it in a career I learn at this station. So I may learn a technology tool at the innovation station, but I get into the health field and I would use that same technology tool there.
Right, exactly. So, Michael Bruder, Director of Innovation for Chula Vista Elementary School District, what advice do you give for your colleagues in other districts, about, listen, this podcasting stuff is pretty cool. There are not too many kids that wouldn't want to do it, or adults for that matter. Does it make a difference if it's a K-12 district or not? What advice would you give to them on starting their own sound station, so to speak?
As far as the podcasting part, I'd just say jump in and try. That's the stage where where we're starting is let's get kids an opportunity to do this and work with people who are familiar with it that can help guide the programming. As far as the station experience, learn what applies in your area, in your sector, in your county, or whatever it may be. What are those workforce sectors that are projected to grow over the next 10 years? And build a mission on what you want to be able to support students with. Like I had shared with ours earlier, and start working together with people to find out how you can create an authentic experience where they're getting to try on those different careers and it's relevant to their community.
Right. Michael, if someone wants to get a hold of you and said, listen, I like what they're talking about, I need to sit there and tour the sound station or the other stations, how do they get a hold of you?
I think email would be best. My email is michael.bruder, BRUDER, at cvesd.org.
That sounds great. Michael, it's always good seeing you, and really appreciate your support and the Superintendent Reyes' support of Cloudcast Media, of the Classroom of the Future, and more importantly, the wonderful students that go through the district and have the opportunity to really see this great innovation in your so learner-centered, focused vibe that you have in the district, and wishing you nothing but continued great success.
Thank you. And we appreciate you showcasing our sound station for the community. And if I could give a quick shout out to our amazing teachers who make these experiences happen at each of our stations.
Absolutely. You just did. That's great. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to a special edition of the Spotlight on the Community Show. We are here at Chula Vista Elementary School District Sound Station. We're brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. And Mission Fed, for more than 60 years, has been doing great things in the community. We hope you enjoyed the program.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.